Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of the Saturday Sports Show. And yeah, what do you want to talk about? And let me talk to you. We're here every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and the Twitter X and Kick platforms. We're also live on Pensman Sports and on Tiger Stripes Media as well, simulcasted also. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our platforms on YouTube and also on Twitter X. We're also on Facebook, and we're also on the on several other social media platforms. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our platforms as well. And please don't forget this afternoon in the completion of the Ralph Williams Saturday triple header. Don't forget 2 to 3 p.m. this afternoon, 12:50 a.m. The Answer 92.5 on the FM dial. The Sports Corner Show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoke, and Jim Frazier. Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree, our guest, Ray Fittipaldo from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette to talk about Steeler free agents and update us on the draft picks and things like that. So Ray will join us at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So just to let everyone know about that, put that on your calendar for later today if you're not busy out getting drunk at St. Patty's Day. So those of you out there having St. Patty's Day celebrations, please be safe and please don't drink and drive. We don't need lives being taken for that purpose. All right. With me is my co-host, Pensman Sports. Pensman, good morning. Welcome. And tell everybody how they can get a hold of you and what's going on.
Good morning. St. Patrick's weekend. Hope everybody's doing good. So you can find me on Pensman Sports and other all social media platforms as well.
All right, Brian Pettit, Tiger Stripes Media. How are you, Brian? Good morning, and tell everybody how old are you.
You can find me on these platforms right here, Tiger Stripes Media, all the platforms. You got iHeartRadio, you got YouTube and X, and also you can find multiple things on Amazon as a podcast going on. So that's where you can find me at that place at. So there you go.
All right. Brian's got some projects going on. We're possibly going to be on doing some stuff on Spreaker Radio, so stay tuned for announcements on that. That's coming up as well. And also don't forget real soon here, I'm still waiting for the contract. I know what's going on with 620 WKHB in Pittsburgh. Sports Corner Radio Show will be on every Friday at 5 p.m. and the Ralph Williams Show every Monday at 2 p.m. On 620 WKHB in Pittsburgh. And so I'm coming after all the stations on drive time and everything else. There's Leo. Leo Haggerty has arrived. Hello, Leo. How are you?
Hanging in there, guys. How about you?
All right. Not too bad. Leo, tell everybody they can get a hold of you. What's going on? How are you this morning?
Well, Amped Up Sports, you can find, we do a daily post there. USF men play this afternoon in the semifinals of the American. And
good.
I'll tell you, it's a lot happening down here, especially, Lightning are back on the hockey bus, winning the last two. So we got a lot happening down here. Plus the NCAA show up next Friday.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. All right. Okay, guys, let's get started. We're going to be talking about free agent tight ends today and tight ends in the draft for the NFL. Also, we have some tournament news. Leo just gave you the South Florida one. Pensman Sports, go ahead with some ACC tournament news. I know you follow Duke. They beat Clemson last night in the ACC tournament. Go ahead.
Sorry, Brian, but Duke did beat Clemson 73-61. They play Virginia tonight at 8:30 tonight, and then Sunday is Selection Sunday at 7 o'clock. So we'll see where everybody is seated. And Arizona, if you guys missed that game, Arizona won at the buzzer 82-80 last night. What a game!
All right, Brian, do you have any news at the tournament other than the fact that Clemson lost to Duke last night?
No, I kind of figured that Clemson would actually lose to that one because of the way they were been playing. I mean, Clemson played like 3 games straight, and they played against North Carolina. So, yeah, I think they kind of wore out last night.
All right, real quick here. Pitt Panthers, as you know, bowed out in the tournament. They made it to the second portion of the ACC tournament, and then they lost their game to NC State. I will tell you this much, unfortunately, and I didn't want this to happen, but it did. Alan Green, the athletic director at Pitt, issued a statement this week that Jeff Capel will return as the head coach. Now, there's two reasons why this is happening. Number one, I did hear that Pitt was able to raise the $15 million for his buyout, but I also was told that Pitt did not want to lose their recruiting class, which is a top 15 recruiting class for this year. So to avoid that, they decided to keep Capel on for one more year. And I think what's going to happen is if he can't mold this recruiting class and get this team back into contention, I think that Capel will probably go next year. I heard they do have the money raised up to pay out his buyout, but they decided to stick with him for one more year. And congratulations to the Duquesne Dukes. Despite the fact they lost last night, they made it all the way to almost to the championship round of the A-10 tournament. Drew Joyce is their head coach, and Drew Joyce used to be a high school teammate of LeBron James. So a lot of people don't know that, but I want to let everyone know that. All right, Outlaw is here. He says good morning, Outlaw, and also hello. Also Nora's out there, says hello, and also we had Deb who said hello as well, and just to all of you guys tuning in, all you guys and gals tuning in today to the Saturday Sports Show. All right, let's get started with our free agent tight ends for the NFL. David Njoku. Let's get started. Cleveland. Leo, go ahead.
The three things a quarterback wants. He wants a good running game. He wants a really good offensive line, and he wants a great tight end. Is Njoku great? No, but I'll tell you what. He leans more toward the great than he does toward the average. So he gives you two things. A tight end that can get over the middle and a tight end that's willing to block. That's huge.
All right, Brian, go ahead. David Njoku, Cleveland.
Well, I mean, you look at how old he is and stuff like that. I mean, you kind of wonder if he's going to sign with a big team. But most of these players on the tight end, I mean, you got to have a good team, like we always said. You got to have a good team to go to, and whether you can pass to them. So, you got to pick up a good team. So,
yeah. Well, also not only just that nowadays too, you got tight ends doing a lot of blocking for the running game. Because, you know what I mean. That adds to the offensive line. The Steelers were a lot with when Arthur Smith was the offensive coordinator. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do this year with Mike McCarthy, but we'll see. Pensman, go ahead. David Njoku.
You and I seen this guy a lot from
we have
AFC with the Browns and Steelers rivalry, but you can see if you haven't paid attention. I don't know how much pay attention you do with the football besides when you and I do games, but Juco is a lot of blocking. He does a lot of blocking for Nick Chubb. So I think what's going to happen is you go there and he's going to go to a new team. He's going to do a lot blocking instead of catching the balls because he's getting older.
Oh yeah, absolutely he is. All right, next Darren Waller. Brian, go ahead. Start with you.
Miami's going downhill as of late, but you got to find a good team. So we'll see what he's got. He's up in his age. He's 33 years old. So, he's kind of young, but like we always say, we got to block for the tight ends and can he catch,
Well, he can't catch. I've seen Darren Waller play when he played for the Raiders and some other teams. Now he's with Miami. So, he was with the Giants too. So Darren Waller's he's a big, tall tight end. But the problem I have is he's got a lot of injuries and he's got an attitude problem.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure exactly,
And Ralph, also his market value is $3.2 million right now, which is like Hurst, some of these guys. I mean, some of these Cooper, like Harper for the tight end and stuff. So that's what he's compared with. But $3.2 million market value, that's kind of odd, you know.
No, it's not my mic giving feedback. Sorry, but I thank you for that, Andrew or Astor. There you go. All right, okay. Pensman, go ahead with you, Darren Waller. Pensman, are you there? Go ahead, Pensman.
I can't hear. Everything's coming in and out. I can't hear what's going on.
I said Darren Waller, Miami. Go ahead.
Can't hear anything. Everything's coming in and out.
Let's go to Leo. Leo, go ahead.
Well, what you have to realize is
go ahead, Leo.
Okay, there's two things you can't coach: size and speed. Waller has both of them. Big target, good speed, and what you got to understand about tight end is it's probably the toughest receiving position because you got to do both. You got to be part offensive tackle, part wide receiver. And Gronkowski is a perfect example of this. Waller comes close because if you're in a base defense and all of a sudden you split that tight end out and you got a guy 6'4" out there or 6'6" like Gronk was,
yes,
you got to make a decision. Is your corner going to cover him? All right, then what are you going to do with the wideouts? If not, you're looking at a for safety. And it puts the defense in a real bind in a base defense. So, yeah, Waller can do that. And again, what you're seeing now in the NFL is people are playing a little bit longer than they have. And that's because of all the technology we have, all the ways of getting guys ready to play week in and week out.
All right, Pensman, go ahead.
Waller has speed. He has eligible. I think Waller is the best. I think Waller is the best tight end in the whole free agency right now.
Well, I think if Pittsburgh was to sign him, he would be another good target like Darnell Washington, a tall target to reach for the ball in the end zone. But the problem is, again, he's got an attitude problem. So I'm thinking if Mike McCarthy can maybe mold that attitude and get him to play, I don't think it would be a bad idea. All right, here we go. Next, Mo Ali Cox from Indy. I don't know much about this guy. Pensman, go ahead. We'll start with you.
I don't know much about him, but
yeah, neither do
hopefully he'll be good with his next team. I don't know much about Cox.
All right. Leo, go ahead.
Yeah, same thing here. The guy didn't play a lot.
No.
Let's be honest. All of a sudden, Indy shows up with a tight end from Penn State, and he didn't come off the field too much. So, yeah, he's probably a second tight end no matter where he goes. Again, the way teams are playing 12 and 13 formations where they're going 2 and 3 tight ends are becoming important. What teams are doing is they're getting rid of fullbacks and just bringing in tight ends because they'll put the tight end in the backfield if they need
Yes, a lot of teams are doing that. You are correct, Leo. Fullbacks are becoming obsolete anymore. So, yeah. I mean, as far as that goes. Okay, Brian, go ahead.
My thing on Cox is if you look at the receptions, I mean, he played 419 snaps, that would average like 39 snaps a game. But he's only had like 117 yards of this year, and it's been trickling down. His highest was in 2009. 2020 when he had over 394 yards. So I mean, his production is going way down. But I mean, he's getting older in his age. 8 years in the league. He's 32 years old. So, we'll see what he got. We'll see where he goes, but he's going to have to, I don't know if I think he'll be a second, kind of like a second string kind of a deal.
Yeah, second or third tight end. Yeah.
So
Nothing
if somebody gets
fancy.
hurt, he'll be a good pickup, but he's just got small yards, you know.
Right. Well, here's one of my favorites, and I've followed him over the years, Zach Ertz from the Commanders. We'll start with you, Leo. Go ahead.
This is a tough one, guys. I think
Well, he just recovered from surgery.
right, and he's at the time where it's time to think about retirement. I mean, the
Yeah,
guy
he is older. Yeah.
left on the tire there. A great tight end when he's healthy and when he was young. Now, it's going to be hard, especially coming off an injury at his age.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Pensman already said his thing. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, it was like Leo said. He's got a coming off of injuries, and you know we got to talk about injuries. You know they got a foul on him. You know, so what can he do and what can he not do? That's always going to be so. You know, look at what happened at Crosby. You know, he went in for another team. They looked at his whatever, and now he's back with the Raiders.
The Raiders, yeah.
So you never know what you're going to do.
Well,
so you have to look at the injury reports. You have to look at everything going into the next team, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, next, John Fitzpatrick from the Green Bay Packers. I don't know much about this guy, but Brian, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
I don't know much about him, but
neither do I. So, go ahead, Leo.
Well, you know, if he's coming from the Packers, they use the tight end a lot. But they used him a lot, and again, that 12 and 13 formations where they're 2 and 3 tight ends. Is he a primary target? No. But he gives them flexibility because, again, it's a guy that can block, a guy that can catch. That's the two important things here with a tight end. Is he an elite tight end? We don't know. He don't play that much.
All right. Also, just a reminder to everybody, Connor Hayward, Cam Hayward's brother, has signed with the Oakland Raiders. He is a multitasker, tight end, played, and did some fullback stuff, blocking. So just an example of somebody.
Las Vegas.
Right.
Las Vegas.
Yeah. I still keep sometimes calling the Jokeland Raiders. So, all right, next, let's get Pensman. Go ahead, John Fitzpatrick. You know anything about him? Go ahead.
He's just a backup to Kraft, and Kraft was taking all the snaps until he got hurt, and then he took over. And I don't know much about him, but we'll see what happens with that. So that's what I'm thinking. But hopefully he has more takes if he goes to another. He didn't get much playing time because of Kraft taking over.
All right, Leo has an awesome take, says Jay. Thank you, Jay. So there you go. All right. Okay, next we have here's another good guy that's a multitasker. Chaysom Hill from the Saints. Now, why is this guy sitting here? It must be an injury case. Something's going on with this guy. He plays quarterback, wide receiver, and tight end. Go ahead, Pensman. You start.
I want the Steelers to get this guy. He is Mr. Relevant himself, not Russell Wilson, but this guy can do it all. You want him to do this. You want him to play third down. You want him to take over. You want him to do a wildcat snap. Hill can do it. I watched this guy in New Orleans, and this guy does it all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leo.
You know what, guys? I don't
expect
him to leave New Orleans. That they'll find a way to keep him because he's like a Swiss Army knife. You can use him for. And again, you guys from Pittsburgh reminds you of Slash, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we all miss Slash, man. I wish we had another player like that. I mean, I wish we had an Antoine Randall or somebody like that could, be a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the defensive coordinator scratching their head. I mean, so. All right, Brian, go ahead. Chaysom Hill.
I like him. I mean,
so do
he
I.
can do, like Pensman said, he can do a whole lot with a whole lot of nothing. But he's up in the age, though. He's 30-something years old, and that might hinder him. But he's still, he can throw a pass, so you can throw a wrinkle in there. He can actually run pretty quick. You give him an open lane, he's right there when he needs to, and he makes big plays. He saved in the last couple of years. He's actually saved the Saints in a couple of games.
All right, next, Tyler Hire. Tyler Hire. I like that name. Leo, go ahead. Tyler Hire.
You know what, guys? When we look at some of these guys,
Rams.
I think they're still not signed with the team. Shouts volumes because they're not that they're a bad player, but they're not on the top of anybody's list in terms, okay, boom, 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 and he's going to go right away. We need to do this. So they're waiting to see how their salary cap works out. I mean, can you imagine Baltimore right now? And they had to give back Max Crosby.
Yeah, that was
sudden, that money goes back on the Raiders. And they started signing free agents. So people are getting a little bit leery about grabbing people right away. So, the guy's going to be out there. He's going to have to make a decision. There'll be probably 2 or 3 teams that are bidding for his services. But it's going to be later down the road. It's not going to be tomorrow, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think, Leo, and I agree with you on this. I think some of these guys will be sitting out there till the last minute. You go through training camp, you get injuries. You might need a guy who's here. And sometimes desperate people do desperate things. And what I mean by that is they might be desperate to get a tight end in here, and this is where this guy fits in. So, all right, let me see here. Pensman, go ahead.
You guys talked about being desperate. The Colts were so desperate they had to call Phillip Rivers back in and play. So I can see him doing the same thing. A tight end getting hurt, a tight end getting hurt, and then be like, "Hire, you're hired."
You're hired.
Yeah, you're hired.
Him, so
I hope he doesn't go lower, like you're saying the price is right, higher or lower. All right, Brian, go ahead.
Well, as we've seen over the week about Crosby and all this, I think some teams are going to take a step back, like Leo said. They're going to take a step back and really think about what's going to happen, to these injuries and everything. So it could pile up in later time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, here's a guy who, from what I understand, was a locker room cancer. Now I don't know if this is true. Very unhappy about his playing time with the Steelers. Jonnu Smith came from Miami in the trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick. We also got Jalen Ramsey out of this deal. I thought he was going to do better than what he did. He just didn't fit in Arthur Smith's offense. I don't know why. He played for Arthur Smith in the past. I don't know what happened here. That's why he's still sitting out there. I hear he has an attitude problem too, but we'll see. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know much about him.
Yeah, well, there you go. All right, Pensman, go ahead.
You and I are probably going to fight about this. So, but I liked Smith. I liked what
I never said I didn't like him.
Yeah, I liked what he did. He was really I know. I'm just saying he was productive. I thought he came in, and I thought Darnell Washington did better because of pancaking people. But I thought when Smith had the opportunity, he was productive, and whoever he goes to the next team, hopefully he picks it up and hopefully he gets more snaps. But that's the only downfall. When you have 2 tight ends, where you gonna play them? Freiermuth was crying, and got equal the snaps.
Yeah, I don't understand what happened there. They had him in them jet sweep places they promised they were going to get rid of. But Leo, go ahead. Jonnu Smith.
Well, I know. He was number 3 on the depth chart. Freiermuth and Brian Washington. Yeah. He was the third guy, and third guys don't get a whole lot of playing time.
No, they don't. No.
He may not be, a lot of people call it an attitude problem. It's just a competitive problem. Hey, I want to play, coach. Put me in. But there was no place to put him.
Yeah.
So he's basically down to that, 13 package where he was the third tight end. So, and again, I can tell you, offense coordinators do not have a lot of plays designed for the third tight end in that, except for the 2-point play that the Seahawks ran against the Rams to a tight end who they hadn't thrown a pass to all year. So yeah,
yeah. How about that guy that burns you? The guy that hasn't played. Steelers should know something about that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, fifth string running back. All of a sudden gets 200 yards against you. There you go. All right, next we have Donald Parham, Pittsburgh Steelers. This guy, he was kind of up and down from the practice squad. He, here and there. But not a bad guy. Caught some passes. Had to play a few times because of injuries. Let's start with you, Leo. Go ahead.
This is like talking about the 12th man on a basketball roster that becomes a free agent.
Yeah.
I remember the line from Major League, and that's probably what everybody's saying here is, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Didn't play a lot, so that's the biggest problem.
All right, Pensman, go ahead.
Like you say, he didn't have that time, and he's been up and down. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about this guy. When he came in, he was productive, but like Leo said, with Smith, there's not much play. There's no more plays with this he can make with this guy.
Yeah, well, I think the Steelers will re-sign and put him on a practice squad like they normally do, and just you got a lot of these type of guys who constantly are on the practice squad, stay with the Steelers. They get these futures contracts, things like that. So
they're just in case people.
Yeah, exactly. Brian, go ahead.
He's getting old. He's 30 years old. He's been in the league for 9 years.
Yeah.
But, it's one of those things. He's had the injuries. He's only had like a couple injuries. Me back in 2000, week 8. 2018. So, but his market value. It's $7.3 million for his market value right now. So, but that's a big stretch for a tight end right there. For that could take a big dent in your cap too. If you sign him for that much. So we'll see where he goes. He might be on his practice squad, but that's a lot of cap money though that you'd give up just to get him or something.
Yeah.
That's a market value at 7.3.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, let's go into. I'm going to read off the last 4, and we'll talk about that as a group.
Hey guys,
go ahead, Leo.
Let me throw this in because this is just coming up. They're delaying the opening of the players because of a shooting that happened close to where they're playing up in Jacksonville. That's just coming across the news right now.
Oh, wow. Wow, another one. Jeez. They just had something in Michigan and some other places. Last night, I will say this, there was a boxing event going on in Pittsburgh. It was supposed to start at 6 o'clock. They didn't start it till 7 because the Irish group, it's the American group in Pittsburgh versus the Irish. And supposedly they were late getting in because of travel issues. Leo's having issues with his internet, and he'll be back. But anyway, what had happened was that they had because of the war, they had some issues with travel, and they got late, so they had to start at 7 o'clock instead of 6. So I just want to let everyone know where we're at here with some of this going on with this war. Stuff just everywhere, but we're not going to talk about that here. But let's go into the last 4 here, and I'll name them off as a group. I like this one here, Mercedes Lewis. The only problem with him is he's 42 years old. But also we got Andrew Ogletree from Indy, and Regan Quatero from Atlanta, and also we have the last Robert Tonyan and Tyler Conklin from the Chargers is not a bad one either. But we'll start with you, Brian. Go ahead with this list.
It sounds like an interesting list, but but you see where these tight ends, all these tight ends are like in their 30s or something. There's maybe be one like we're talking about in his 20s or 2, but they can all be backups. There's not really a big name out there for a tight end as a big tight end that you want on your teams. But some of these guys could be backups, and we'll see where they got to go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, Leo, are you still there? Or are you having issues?
I think he's having issues.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Pensman.
It's interesting list, like Brian said, but where are they going to place them all? Where are they going to be at? Like, there's nowhere to place these guys. So,
Yeah, some
we'll
of them might end up being
I'm glad I'm
unemployed.
not GM.
Yeah, there you go. That's a hard decision. You're right. Leo, go ahead.
Yeah, it's exactly right.
Yeah.
52 guys you can put on the roster. No one's going to keep a fourth tight end. You're going to keep three, and you're going to keep the rest on the practice squad. So it's kind of like the rule of diminishing returns. I mean, you can't afford to keep another guy when you got to keep 8 offensive linemen and 6 wide receivers and 8 defensive backs. So you're in a numbers crunch. So these guys will probably be sitting around until we see what happens in training camp. Somebody gets hurt, or they're willing to go in the practice squad.
All right, I just got breaking news from a source of mine at the Steelers that I can't believe this. The Steelers just paid $2.5 million to Patrick Queen for his roster bonus. So that means Patrick Queen is not being traded, which was supposed rumor out there. So I want to let everyone know that as well. So. All right, but anyway, all right, we got Jeff here who says that he's done with the NFL. He's getting into Major League Baseball, or he's into college football more than he is the NFL. There he is there. That's Jeff. So welcome, Jeff Goldblum. So, Pittsburgh native.
If you're into football, you're into pro football, because those guys are getting paid just as much.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We all, Leo, you and I.
Oh, go Leo.
You and I, Leo, and the rest of us here have had this discussion about NIL and all that, and this college football structure. I don't even want to go into it. I'm so agitated by
Leo,
it.
that was
all right.
awesome. I like that, Leo.
Real quick before we get into the draft tight ends, let's talk about this Max Crosby thing. Does Max Crosby stay with the Raiders, or do the Raiders try to trade him again? Or are the Raiders going to make a second attempt to have egg on their face? Go ahead, Brian.
Well, here's my take about it. I think that now that he said, "Oh, we're going to have 2 first rounds," if he does get traded, go lower than what it is now. You can talk about second round, third round, fourth round, maybe a fifth, but you're going to have to give up. They still probably want to get a first and a first, but now you got to think of, all right, now that everything's out and open, when everybody talks, and now you got to throw in a little bit more. Hey, can we get a second round for him? Can we get a third round, fourth round? We'll have to see where it takes them on this journey. If they do trade him, they might just keep him. But he kind of wants in and out. It's day to day, so it depends on what he wants to do. And the organization.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, go ahead, Leo, with Max Crosby.
Well, you're not getting 2 first rounders. That's for sure, because whoever wants to trade for him, they'll give you a first rounder maybe right now. And if well, wait a second, we had 2. I said, yeah, and he flunked his physical. And that's the biggest thing right now, is when the doctors say, hey, guys, guess what? This guy may not be ready to play in a year, or he may only have 1 or 2 good years left. I think right now the Raiders are stuck with him, and they need to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something. They're either going to be stuck with them with their salary cap. And like you said, Leo, they went out and they signed all these free agents, assuming the Ravens were going to take Max Crosby off their hands, and they ended up with egg on their face. So go ahead, Pensman.
Myles Garrett 2.0. They were starting to lose. They were starting to do this. They're starting to do that. And then he say once out, he'll never play with Las Vegas again. And then they tried to get rid of him, and they did. And then they came back and they made all the moves, like Ralph, you said. And they're going to draft Mendoza. If you live under a rock and you don't know football, it is obvious they're going to get Mendoza. So he's going to be happy, and I think he's going to stay there, and he's going to finish his career there, and no matter what you hear. But Myles Garrett 2.0 is my take.
All right, I'm gonna go into some free agent, the latest as of today. So let's go into that for a minute before we get into the draft. there's a few tight ends in the draft, not a lot. The one that's the biggest one of them all is the kid from Oregon. All right. He's the one that's the biggest one. He could go in the first round. He's the only one on this list that probably could go in the first round. That's Kenton Sadiq. And it looks to me like he's, Kenyon Sadiq. He has good size, 6'3", 245. We'll start with you, Leo. What do you think of this guy? You think he'll go in the first round?
I don't see a tight end going in the first round.
All right. Well, they have him here going in the first round in this moment. So.
But what would scare me if I'm a general manager or a coach is the one thing I know if he's coming out of Oregon, he can catch the football. But can he block? Because Oregon's going to throw it. They want that to happen. And you just having a tight end, a really good tight end is a necessity. Having a great tight end is a luxury. Again, it's like running back. You got to be darn special to go in the first round. I mean, all you're talking about is Love's the only guy. This guy may be the only tight end that even shows up as a first round possibility. I don't think he'll go in the first round, but he'll go in the high second round. Again, name me a team right now who is in desperate need of a tight end.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
Not a lot. Yeah. It's a luxury. It's not a necessity.
All right, guys. Joe Royer, Cincinnati. I like this guy. I like this guy from NC State as well. These guys are probably going to go in the late rounds. I'm hoping that that somebody gets one of them. And this guy from Houston, I like too, Tana Kozil. He's not bad. You got a guy in here that's about 6'7", 6'8", weighs about 260. He would be an interesting pick as well. Brian, who do you like for the draft for tight ends? Who'd you take?
I like the
Go ahead, Leo.
Prize.
Go ahead, Leo.
If a daggone power forward comes out of an NCAA basketball program and ends up as a tight end, I mean, what you're seeing is a lot of these, 6'7", 6'8" guys that
played basketball. Yeah,
they're going to go over and play football because
right.
they don't have a future in the NBA, but they got a darn good future as a tight end.
Hey, Antonio Gates. Everybody remembers him.
Exactly.
Yep. So, Pensman, go ahead. I'll get to you, Brian, next. Get Pensman.
Go ahead, Brian. I don't have anything for this one.
No, I like the Vanderbilt tight end, 6'4", 2. His name is Eli. I think it's Stolers or whatever.
Yeah.
But you listen to this is some of his scouting report strength. Covers ground quickly in the scheme of a real speed, focuses on strategy, respects his vertical, soft. He's got soft hands, adjustable as well off the target. Quarterback's background gives him an advantage, fills the setting zones and doing that. So it sounds like he's actually a pretty good one. Then I can remind you this one. He's like a little Renfro, but he's tall, 6'3", whatever. But he'd be a good tight end for a great team that could throw it to a tight end that he could be a good third down, fourth down kind of reversion out there. So it sounds pretty good. I like him a lot.
Okay, Miami has a backup tight end that's in this. I know this guy didn't play unless Leo can tell me. Martell, what's his name? I'm sorry, Martell Bell. Markel Bell. He's rated number 12, but a fourth-round pick, 6'9", 240. So, that guy might not be bad. They have him going in the fourth round. So I think a lot of these guys are probably going to be going in all these rounds, late rounds. So, tight end kind of falls under the radar a little bit. And I think everybody will agree with me on that one. All right, let's go around the horn here. Free agency draft for each of our teams. Pensman and I both cover the Steelers. I'll let Pensman do his thing. But first, we'll get started with you, Brian. Go ahead. San Fran 49ers. Go ahead.
Well, as we know, we picked up we picked up Greenlaw again. We've picked up Warner again. Let's see. We picked up Evans, which is a good pickup. I like Evans really good. So, they're moving a lot along, but this team is getting older. The 49ers, the team that I cover, is getting a little older. So I'm kind of concerned with, but they're trying to set it up for a Super Bowl last run here before they get rid of everybody. But no, I think the 49ers is going to have a lot of, they're going to have to dig deep in their draft picks this year. But as long as they're trying to make that defense, but we need still corners though. The 49ers need some corners. That's what hurt us last year. So in the defense, we couldn't blitz the defense. So we'll see what we got though.
All right, Pensman, go ahead with the Steelers.
Last night, if you guys don't know, if you're not a Steelers fan or a Titans fan, we got Sebastian Joseph last night. He is a beast. He's a huge nose tackler and he got good speed. And I thank you for giving that to me. We got Savage too. He used to be for the Packers. Great pickup there. Got that Brisker from the Bears. Ralph said he's a force to be reckoned with. So got Cameron. I forget what that punter's name is. That Cameron guy. He's back with us with his second stint. So he's coming back. That's it. Yeah, that's it. He's back with his second term as the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know what happened with Walt. I thought Walt Whitman did really good, but with Aaron Rodgers, I'm hearing that it's a done deal. They're just waiting for something. I don't know what, but it sounds like Aaron Rodgers will be back. Yay. The retirement home of Pittsburgh is growing. So go. All right, back to you. That's all I wanted to say about that. I'll let you take some of that, Ralph.
That's fine. No problem. I'll have my opinions on some things. Leo, okay, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, go ahead. And if you want to add anything about Jacksonville or Miami, you can do that as well. Go ahead.
This is almost going to sound like sacrilege, but the Buccaneers are not going to be hurt too badly by Mike Evans leaving. And that's because of how large that wide receiver room is. I mean, you got Ibuka, you got McMillan, you got a Godwin that's coming off an injury that he's going to be probably rehabbed for a full year. So they're going to miss him in the red zone because you get inside the 20-yard line, you put a 6'6" wide out there, you can't cover, period. And that's why the 49ers, Brian, you're exactly right. You're going to put Evans out there, and Brock Purdy's going to have a field day with that. The big signing, I think, was Gainwell because they were going to fight the free agency. They don't want to re-sign him anyway. And Gainwell's going to give him that third down back.
You can have him.
Yeah.
Well, the Steelers got somebody better. They got Rico Dowdle. So, I mean, there's from Carolina. So, I think he's a better running back, and I think he'll complement Jaylen Warren very well. One other thing I wanted to ask you, Leo, and I've gotten an opinion from someone else that covers Tampa Bay Buccaneers sports, and I also got opinions from up here in Pittsburgh from all the other pundits in the media up in Pittsburgh about Jamal Dean. Now, Pittsburgh, oh, yeah, he's so good. He's this, that, and whatever. The other Tampa Bay person that covers it told me some different stories about Jamal Dean. I want your take on Jamal Dean. Go ahead.
I can tell you what the take is. No pass rush, you're all going to look bad back there. They have none. The Tampa Bay pass rush is non-existent. So all the quarterback does is stand back there until the receiver gets open. Because I don't care what kind of defensive back you are. You can't cover a guy for 4 or 5 seconds. And that's what's happening down here. You got to have a pass rush. And when there's no threat of it, there's your problem. So, yeah, people down here in Tampa say, hey, good riddance, he's gone. Well, guess what? What's plan B? They don't have a plan B. They have got to find an edge rusher big time. That's got to be their prime directive, period. And
I do know Kalijah Cansey kind of laid an egg. He's been hurt. Can't help the club if you're in the tub,
Yeah, that's the thing. Are you laying an egg because you're not that good or because you're hurt? And Cansey's been hurt. Well, he's been injured. Everybody plays hurt. He's been injured.
And I heard Savossier Dennis hasn't lived up to his thing either. So, but I always keep track of Pitt players. So
What's funny, Ralph, is what was their ceiling when they came in? I mean, did you expect this guy to be an all-pro? No.
Special teamer,
He's playing to his level right now, or maybe a little bit over, but everybody's saying, well, he's not this, he's not that. Well, he wasn't this or that when they got him. So, deal with it.
Right, exactly. And he's a light guy. He's only like 230 pounds, Savossier Dennis. And, he was okay when he was at Pitt. All right. As far as the Steelers go, in my opinion, 2 players from Pitt they need to get. They need to get Kyle Lewis in like the 4th or 5th round, and they need to get Desmond Reed. Desmond Reed is a very good kick returner and punt returner. Bring him in, sign him as an undrafted free agent or whatever in the late rounds. The Steelers have been lacking this type of talent for a long time. Also, Desmond Reed can run a few plays and give you that little short guy that can speed through the hole and get down the field. All right. And he also is a very good pass catcher. So when he's healthy now, here's the key point here. It's called healthy. And a lot of these players, sometimes, they come out and they're not healthy and nothing really happens and things like that. All right. We're going to do what I call our local. And then we're going to do first, we're going to do open talk here, whatever you guys want to talk about here, because we're down to about 10 minutes left in the show here. Brian, we'll start with you. Go ahead. Anything you want to talk about, then we'll get into local. Go ahead.
Well, what's going on in Clemson is you're going to have everybody's been talking about, Vina and all that, but I think there's going to be a controversy with quarterbacks this year at Clemson, but they haven't really said anything.
Right.
But, there's a lot of things. So stay tuned to that. So it's going to be an interesting month down here. And also, you got spring practice. You got actually spring games coming in a couple of weeks. I think it's like 10 more days or something. I think it's March the 28th for Clemson. So that's when their spring ball actually, is up here. So nothing really going on. You got Furman, you got Clemson, you got South Carolina is doing stuff. Georgia Tech actually beat Clemson again last night in baseball. Pretty bad, 9-3. So that's what's going on in Clemson.
In Clemson land there. All right. Leo, go ahead. Anything you want to talk about? Go ahead.
Yeah, guys.
And then local.
Miami of Ohio.
Oh, that's a shame.
This has put the committee square in the crosshairs. They were praying that they would win their tournament because then the onus is off them. But right now, there's people talking about the number 20 team in the country not making the dance. I don't care if you're the NBA or the CYO league across the street. You're 31-0, you're 30. And everybody talks about the metric. Hey, how about this metric? They won 31 games.
They won 31
games. Exactly, Leo.
They need to be in. And if the committee doesn't put them in, they should all be fired because no clue what's going on.
Yes.
Hey, Leo, do you think they need to be fired tomorrow if they don't put Miami, Ohio in?
Absolutely. Why would they even? And they're even considering a 7-11 Auburn team to be in.
Oh,
I might do something real unique. Win some darn games, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I was hoping they would. I was hoping they'd go undefeated, but they, like I said, Leo, they did put the committee in crosshairs, and everybody's talking about it yesterday. Oh, they need to be in. They need to be out. They need to be in. I'll just put them in and see how far they can go,
Yeah, absolutely.
But putting them in as a 12 or a 13. You know what? If I'm a 4 or 5 and I'm going to have to play an undefeated team, I'm not real happy about that. They should be a 5 or 6 seed at worst. They're the number 20 team in the country. You guys put them there. Now stop ignoring them. They're not the redheaded stepchild. They're the Red Hawks.
Hey Leo,
right.
do you think the committee, if they did put him in, do you think they'll go after him and go, hey, we'll put him in this region and we'll see how good they do then. Do you think they'll mess around with the regions? Because I got a theory about the whole entire like the brackets, how they're drawn and everything. I think somehow they actually do where they put teams in and go, okay, well, this will be a good matchup. Let's get viewers out there and stuff like that. That's just my theory to some of the bracketology, you know?
Yeah, hey Brian, here would be the ultimate insult to Miami, Ohio.
Yeah.
They put them in the play-in game.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't that be something? Because then they're going to end up playing the number 1 seed right after that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, here's something. We got an email here, and this is from Ben, not Roethlisberger. All right, but it's from Ben, and Ben lives in Pittsburgh, and he says, Ralph, he says, I'm watching the program here, and I enjoy everything that you're talking about. So he says, keep up the good work, you guys, every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So there you go. That's from Ben in Pittsburgh. Email.
Cool.
Ralph Williams 737 at gmail.com. So, you know. But anyway, Pensman, go ahead. Your thoughts, Miami of Ohio, anything you want to talk about, and local.
Miami, Ohio should be in. They can't, the committee can't look at the schedule and say, well, it's too weak of the schedule and they can't do this, they can't do it. They won 31-0. So I don't want to hear tomorrow night when I watch the committee, the special, I don't want to see them saying, oh, their schedule is too weak. You won 31 games. And so, and the conference games, I know I'm a Duke fan. I know they dominate the ACC tournament, but I'm telling you guys, here's a news flash. The conference games tournament does not mean anything. It's just boosting your seeding. That's it. But if you win 31 games and you lose one game, that's not end of the world. So the committee needs to wake up and figure out they need to put them in. So, but what's happening local is the Kings beat the Islanders last night 3-2. So the Penguins hold position to the second spot in the division. So hopefully they play Utah tonight. So hopefully the Penguins can get back to where they've been and start winning and stop going this roller coaster ride that they're going on. I know roller coasters are fun, but when you're a sports team, it's not fun because it's other teams are right behind you. So, but that's what's going on in my local.
All right. Okay, here we go now, guys. Next week, we're going to talk the baseball season's getting started. We're going to dissect some of these, these different divisions where for baseball, who's hot, who's not. Also, we have an NCAA tournament coming up. We'll dissect that a little bit. Next week, we're going to get into offensive linemen available in free agency and the draft. So we got a big show next week coming up for you here on the Saturday Sports Show. And next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I will be filling in for Brandon Keeler and the Sports Nut Show next week. So tune into that. I'll be filling in for Brandon. And just to let everyone know, this show also will be uploaded on the Amped Up Sports' Facebook page. Also, we're going to be on the Fan First Sports Network and Draft Nation. So just to let everyone know, you can also check that out. The archive versions will be on YouTube, Facebook, and also on the Twitter X platform. Don't forget this afternoon, 2 to 3 p.m., Sports Corner Radio Show, AM 1250, The Answer 92.5 on the FM dial, and TheAnswerPGH.com. With me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree. We have Ray Fittipaldo on as our guest from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. He's been on this show many times as a guest, and Ray will be talking with us about what's updated with the Steelers and a whole lot more coming up this afternoon, 2 to 3 p.m. And don't forget tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, the Ralph Williams Show with me, Ralph Williams, and my co-host, Tony Moreno. Tony, unfortunately, probably will not be joining us. He had bad storms up his way, and his internet's not working properly. So Tony will not be joining us as well. So I just want to let everyone know that.
Hey,
so,
Ralph, quick question for Pensman. Has there anybody been texting in or emailing in and saying, why aren't you talking about World Baseball? The fact that we aren't even talking about it got to tell you that it's about as irrelevant as it can get, right?
Yeah, exactly. World Baseball Classic, the only thing I know is about Paul Skeens. I don't, it doesn't bother me about anything else, So, and whatnot. So, I mean, all right, guys, let's have closing remarks and how everybody can get a hold of you. Start with you, Leo. Go ahead.
Yeah, go to Amped Up Sports on Instagram, Facebook, putting out a daily podcast talking about NCAA basketball, talking about NFL with free agency and that. And go there, check us out. Hit the like and subscribe buttons. That always helps us. But we got a lot happening here. We got the Valspar that's going to start next week. In fact, I may be talking to you from the Copperhead course next week. So we'll see what happens, guys.
All right, Pensman, go ahead. Final thoughts and how people can get a hold of you. Go ahead, Pensman.
You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on find me on the social media platforms. All kinds of stuff. Yankees baseball's coming up. Hockey's closing down. Playoffs are coming up. We'll see if the Penguins make playoffs. So subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button as well. So back to you, Ralph.
All right, thanks.
Real quick before we get to Brian, Matthews is out for the season. ACL.
Oh wow.
Oh geez.
Yeah. Do you think Gudas needs to be ejected from the league?
Again, I haven't got a good look at the hit, but anytime you're down on the knee, they're going to look at it. So he may get suspended a little bit because you put one of the stars, they're not happy. So that's for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Two stars.
2 stars.
Yeah.
2 stars. He took Crosby and Matthews out. He took Crosby out in the Olympics.
Right.
He's dirty, man.
Sounds like he is.
All right, breaking news from the UFL trade alert today. The DC receives Braylon Sanders from the new, I believe it's the new Columbus team or something here, I think, and they receive Gohib Aldez. They in trade with the DC Defenders. I think this is that new Louisville team or something. Yeah. Oh no, Houston. Houston receives Gohib Adib, and then Braylon Sanders gets traded to DC Defenders. So that's UFL news. Just came in just now. So just to let everybody know that as well. So we'll be covering the UFL this year here. We're also going to be doing something called UFL Weekly, where we're going to have a show where we're going to cover the UFL. Leo, you're invited on if you'd like. Come on with us, talk about the UFL, and I'll give you more details on that when we get them. So just let everyone know. Don't forget Tuesday Sports Corner Show. My guest will be Tim Collins from the Answer the Call. I was on his podcast this Thursday. Thank you, Tim, for having me on. Tim will join us 4:30. And then I'm working on getting some guests on for our 2-hour special to talk about the draft and also free agency and new coaches. So that's coming up. 2-hour special Sports Corner with me, Ralph Willams, Smoking Jim Frazier, 4 to 6 p.m. on Tuesday. And no Wrestle Talk until after the draft. So just to let everyone know, we'll be doing 2-hour specials. I want to try to cover everybody from all 32 teams. So far, we got 9 teams that have been covered, and now we're going to work on the rest of the league here as we go along. So, what's going on, new coaches and all that other stuff. Last week we had gentlemen on, talked about the Atlanta Falcons and what's going on with Kevin Stefanski and everything else. So there's going to be a whole lot more coming up soon. So just let everyone know that as well. And all right. I'm Ralph Willams. You can reach me on like and subscribe me, please, on Facebook and YouTube. Also, where I'm on Twitter X. I'm also on the Instagram and TikTok. So don't forget to and LinkedIn. Also, I'm on Tumblr and a whole lot more other social media platforms. Please don't forget to tune into my radio shows in Pittsburgh and in Philadelphia on Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m. The Ralph Willams Show. WWDB Radio. Here it is right here real quick. Also, don't forget every 4th Wednesday of the month, we do a live call-in on WWDB 860 AM. Take your phone calls. It was a great live call-in last month. This month should be even better. As the weather starts getting warmed up, we start talking about some different issues coming up as well. All right, 4, Brian Pettit, Pensman Sports, Leo Haggerty. I'm Ralph Williams. Till next Saturday, have yourself a great one. And please, by all means, today, for St. Patty's Day celebrations, please be safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't act like a fool. Please, be safe and act appropriately. Have a good one. Thank you.